Hey everybody, welcome back to episode fuck it, what was it? 8? Episode 8.
Shut up. Hold on, let me listen to this. Oh, okay. What happened to him, dude?
No, this is just it had to start over because I think the limit's like 3 hours. It's time for me to take a obligatory piss.
Obligatory diss.
Eminem diss track part 2.
Yeah. Crackhead dreams.
Alright, this episode is entitled The Factor Tree of Sadness. I remember week 13. This is one where Doug, what's his name? Greg Williams called the cover zero blitz against the Raiders. Vontaze Burfict. Vontaze Burfict.
You have been eliminated.
You've been eliminated. You are sus.
Nobody forgot to update the software overnight.
Exactly.
Any of you have experience with computers, this means that it auto-updates at the worst possible time. In this case, the first half of this game. Cleveland obviously wanted their first season over 500 since 2007. They made sure of it with a handy-dandy reverse code. The Titans like imitating the Mongolian horde? Well, here's your own medicine. They were only hired by the survivors of your raids to destroy any...
They were hired by murderer.
Hired
They
by
were killed
Dennis
murderer.
Plank.
Hired.
Dennis Plank's son.
They were killed by murderer, hired by Dennis Dankton.
Dank memes.
dignity.
Dankton.
38-7 by the end of the half. By that point, the Titans OS finally updated their technology. It was too late to win the
To
game.
be honest, this computer takes like 5 minutes to update.
The secondary is a massive issue. They were burnt toast throughout the second half. The fact that this ended up becoming a game by the end with a 31-point handicap is honestly disturbing. I'd honestly call it praising with faint hands. The Browns are a good team, but will it be enough to win a playoff game? We have witnessed a miracle, ladies
No.
and gentlemen. Orlando Taysom Hill himself has thrown touchdowns at the NFL level. His first passing TD since November 2016. It's against Atlanta, yes, but this is a moment for celebration, not mockery. That part goes to the Saints refusing to finish off their prey when they have the opportunities to. With an offense like the Falcons, you can't give them any slack. They're desperate to salvage anything they can from this disappointing season, and beating a rival is such a moment. So, like New Orleans has done for most of the year, they'll do just enough to escape the clutches of defeat. This time it's team defense holding the fort. I have severe doubts about them at the next level, but they're still winning. So I guess I'll have to drink the Kool-Aid from a bar on bourbon for this week. Welcome to the playoffs.
That's actually the Among Us victory screen.
I know.
I actually figured that out like a couple days ago.
The problem isn't with the team itself. It's more rounded and plays hard. It's a quarterback. Phillip Rivers has been dealing with a nagging foot injury that could have an impact in the future. I'd honestly argue the more important issue facing them right now is Houston. The Texans may be all but out of the running, but they still have talent. They're riding a winning streak and eager to play spoiler. The early offensive volleys would be replaced by an eerie silence. Indy may have a slight advantage, but it's uneasy. Houston's planning their next move. They know it. All they can do is be vigilant. It's a stalemate. Attention of groups eager to gain either traction or hope. The Texans charge into no man's land. They're led by Deshaun Watson. He will guide Houston to ruining Miami's draft hopes again. He's got a chance to do it late. That play is Houston sports in 2020. Being close to the primary goal only to shit it at the last possible moment. The torment continues. You know why this is, Houston. No, you are not crazy. The Chicago Bears have lost their minds. They are starting Trubisky in a football game again. Although in this case I could argue it's due to advanced analytics. Detroit has never been able to beat him. Week 1, you remember that game? That and the Foles injury is why he's getting the nod. You can see why early on. The Bears finally seem to be gaining some life. To be fair, the Lions defense is awful against the run, pass, and decency, but it's needed. Even with Nagy trying his hardest to stat his numbers, things are looking good for Chicago. Despite Matt Stafford swinging it like he does best, they continually maintain a 2-score lead. Then you get to the uneasy reality of life. This Bear team is moldy and decaying. They require the offense to maintain possession. They have Trubisky. When they need the defense to bail them out, they channel Trubisky. The last thing they should do is turn the ball over in their zone. Kiss the titties. Why, yes, they are man moves. It's all you get after this game. You wanted a good reward for 6 consecutive losses? With that spineless 4th-down play call? Get the fuck out of here. Vegas, this is as easy as a win as you're going to get. Really out of games. You fucked up Sam Darnold's development? No shit. I couldn't tell from how the opposition is allowing him to generate momentum for the offense. Are you for real, Red? You're supposed to be playoff content. But you're allowing a winless team to keep pace with you? Once again, this shouldn't even be a game. The defensive plan for Darren Waller is to let him have carte blanche. It will just let Darren walk all over them, yet the New York Jets are leading a game deep into the 4th quarter again. Vegas tries to score a touchdown late, but they are unsuccessful. The world begins to cackle, but to the Jets, this is disastrous. Do they know the consequences of winning?
Do they know the consequences
Consequences of suicide? Yep.
Huh?
Drop them
Yeah.
another great quarterback to ruin? The genius coaching staff must do their part to maintain the tank. A cover 0 all-out play. Against the team with no timeouts and 15 seconds left. When they were up by 4, they had a fucking rookie corner one-on-one against one of the fastest players in football. The guy bit on a fake to the underneath route. That's the play call? How the fuck does Greg Williams still have a job in the NFL? If that play wasn't designed to deliberately tank, he should have been fired long before then. You know what? Keep going. Make Adam Gase the GM as well. It's the only option to embrace such a wonderful disaster, and it would be very on brand. Do you feel the excitement, Jacksonville? Mike Glennon starting at QB. Mike Glennon! You can just see the blatant tanking that is ongoing for this franchise. Just ignore this early lead for the Jaguars. Minnesota will eventually pull through to the end. It may not look like it, but Jacksonville is on the road to that fantastic top draft. They have to keep pace from the big boys in New York. Did they see the genius that they pulled up to maintain their draft lead? What do you think they're starting Glennon? It certainly isn't to win football games. Burrow isn't in on it, though. He's got a terminal case of the pink slip. Oh no, Vikings! You're doing the horrible thing of trying to ruin their fine tank. This is a capital offense in the football world. Now, you can say that Minnesota has made a lot of careless mistakes on both sides of the ball, but they are trying to reassert themselves as contenders. The Jags technically late in the fourth. You going to do anything about it? Besides miss more field goals? At least you have overtime in Mike Glennon to salvage the day. It may have been ugly as fucking you'd have gotten your shit wrecked in by a real opponent, but the Vikings get back to 500. There is life again. If it's for the best interests of the team, I honestly don't know. Once a lone cow, always a lone cow. The Chargers are pain incarnate, but it's hilarious to laugh at. You know why? Because fuck them. Not the players, the organization itself. Only an inept team like the Chargers can consistently bring about some of the worst special teams play we can see. The only special they should be serving are 2-for-4 deals at a fast food joint. They are the William Hung of special teams. Untalented.
I bet you're hung like a horse.
Good guy, you tree.
Good guy, Edelman.
My God, is it bad. She gets ripped to shred by defensive scheming. Justin Herbert only wishes he was drafted lower to escape this hell. Would you look at that? It's another season wasted from total failure in all aspects. Newsflash, Chargers, LA still isn't going to give a fuck about you. Appears we have some controversy on our hands, huh? Doug Peterson feels the coals being raked underneath him as his seat sears hot. Carson Wentz, when not being held behind his line, is utterly broken to the point of no return. The defense believes the best option of stopping the passing attack is to chuck a linebacker on them. The Eagles look absolutely awful. Now we have a real dilemma. Jalen Hurts was mercifully thrust into the game. Surprisingly, it was for more than 2 plays. Managed to throw a few deep passes accurately, and now I expect him to get the Nick Foles treatment for the next 4 years. Just ignore the shitty coaching and bad defense, and they may have a shot. Okay, that's not happening. Packers are 9-3, and are all but a shoo-in to win the NFC North. Sounds about right. This game is pretty crucial to the future of the NFC West. Arizona may be on a bit of a skid, but they will be eager to punch the Rams in the mouth like a certain other team did last week. For LA, they took heed of this warning. They implanted a titanium jaw to avert the death. No matter what the Cardinals did, their opponent was always one step ahead. It might be a good showering off for LA, but for Arizona, they might be in some trouble. Not just from losing 3 of their last 4, but from the sheer inconsistency of the team from week to week. Kyler goes from dominant to empty, the defense can impose or implode. The offense itself isn't enough to overcome it. Not with big sixes to seal the game. Arizona now gets a dogfight for the final playoff spot, and the Rams will get to see what happens in Seattle. Well, this should be fun. The Seahawks may have terrible defense, but they should be able to stand up against the Giants team with the 31st ranked offense in the league. I'm sure this will be easy pickings for the red-hot Russell Wilson, my hero. You fumbled the snap. Well, in a competitive game against a real team, I'd be worried about these kinds of costly mistakes, but this is the Giants we're talking about. I'm sure it won't be a big deal. It was. Little did I realize the Seahawks offense would produce little more than wet farts, and the defense made the Giants' run game look like they could be a playoff contender. It pains me to say that Russell Wilson looked like an amateur. He made tons of risky throws, took big sacks, and didn't
Took big sacks.
He beats Cox.
He beats sacks.
Mm-hmm.
And for them, I congratulate you on a well-deserved victory. You earned the prestigious award of the top spot in the NFC East. Don't squander it. I can't start this segment without giving proper compliments to the Broncos defense. Despite having limitations in dealing with injuries all season, they played a damn good game. Against one of the best offenses in football, Denver did well containing the big plays and limiting them to field goals most of the time. It would be nice if the offense managed to help them out every once in a while.
Who did the Broncos play?
We're looking at a certain return to play this week.
The Chiefs.
Mercy rules over, Broncos. Your offense
Oof.
was the main reason why victory was avoided. Relax, boys. It's not the play. You can win more than once every few games. This one was certainly within reach. But if Kansas City is underrated in one thing, it's in possessing the ball at pivotal moments.
Yep.
Good luck trying to get time to mount a final assault, as you fail the Chiefs get a ticket to the promised land.
Woohoo! We made it to the playoffs.
Yeah, they scored 9 points in the final game of the season.
Yay!
Name redacted suspense.
Hey guys, we scored. Wait, imagine Mahomes being like, "Hey guys, we scored 9 points in the
Hey
final
guys,
game."
we scored 9 points in the last game of the season. Yay!
Stolen from them. Now they must try to forge a new one. One based on resilience and structure. One that has them somewhat likable to do feel-good stories throughout the land. But up against an undefeated team in Pittsburgh, they have their own traditions to uphold. And if you followed this team for a while, you know what it is. Shooting themselves repeatedly to play down to competition. 5 attempts to score from the 1-yard line. All predictably called failures. If this country needs more vaccines, I suggest we take the hands of the receiving corps and blend them. It will be the ultimate cure for COVID. They can't catch anything. Deontay Johnson got the sweets and Eric Ebron was reinfected with Detroititis. What to do of the Steelers? They're up by 14. Keep passing the ball. Who the hell needs a running game? This Washington defense is already tough as nails, so make it easier for them to do their jobs. As Alex Smith is a game manager, he can slowly lull the defense to sleep as he guides them to tying up the game in the 4th quarter. This is also without their emerging running back, Antonio Gibson. Pittsburgh may be running on low rest, but these play calls and schemes are baffling. It's 4th and 1. Why the hell are you throwing a deep ball to the 3rd-string running back? Of course Washington is going to capitalize. They're on a modest winning streak. Thus, the inevitable happens. The Steelers maintain the Tomlin tradition. They got punched in the mouth by a team they should have crushed. They are possibly the worst 11-1 team ever. Losing. You're having a hot date with her this week, Mapletron. Come on, stop that shit! I'm leaving that series dead and that's that. Shit's made its course. But I think it's time for a new tradition. The anthem of the football team. Angry tactic. Positive outcome. Players. Football field. Washington football team. California is home to some of the most restrictive coronavirus decrees out there today. For the Niners, they had to scramble for a new home after this latest development. Santa Clara County, in an attempt to make sure no fun was had to protect Grandma banned all contact sports from being played for the next few weeks. Fortunately, the Niners are allowed to jet to Phoenix to play their home games, potentially for the remainder of the year. Someone should tell them that they're allowed to try and compete in the NFL still. Or is that more because the Buffalo Bills put on a clinic? How to obliterate the spirits of a franchise wrecked by insurance premiums. 4 touchdowns for Josh Allen as this game isn't anywhere near competitive. It was almost as if they went Super Saiyan on their asses. So not only are the Niners playing Russian roulette with one empty chamber, they now have to do it in the equivalent of a POW camp. The Super Bowl hangover hurt them quite literally. Now there's a hill to climb to salvage the year. The spoilers that the Bills will kick them down the mountain. Thursday night football becomes Tuesday night football this week. Can't have a COVID-wrecked team play on no rest now, can we? As Ravens are still testing positive for the virus right before the game. Thank you, NFL, for not giving a fuck about player safety. We all obviously needed to see Baltimore gang
If
up
you
on
test
that-
positive for COVID, it's not going to really matter. People are not dying.
They still couldn't.
What?
People aren't dying of this thing. Are you kidding?
No one's ever died from SARS.
Stop it. For roughly the 4th week in a row, the Cowboys got their asses whooped on national television. Seems to be a finish of theirs, but I won't judge them for it.
It's Mike fucking McCarthy.
Sponge bondage.
Spondage.
Sponge bondage.
No, spondage. Alright. Weren't you watching something? Dude.
Yeah.
Weren't you watching something? Week 13.
Oh yeah.
Play the damn video.
Play the damn video, dude.
I'm not playing.
Bury them for their careless mistakes and fatal errors throughout the game. As this wasn't even close, the Ravens, by dominating their foes, finally stopped the bleeding. Next week's matchup, though, you better be careful with that one. I have a hunch their opponent wants heads for their trophy room. Gather round, everyone, and witness the low cow of the week. We have 3 nominees this time around, and they are Emmanuel Durand, a high school football player disqualified from a game. With his stealth powers, he bull rushes the field and blindsides an official. For his bravery, he was arrested on assault charges and his school district withdrew the team from the playoffs. Was it worth it? Greg Williams, for his tank-saving buffoonery disguised as a cover zero all-out blitz with 15 seconds left. The sad part is that he probably wasn't even trying to tank. His play call was just trash. And the Chargers special teams units. Oh, they're special, all right. Special needs. In all aspects, just outright incompetent against the Patriots. They've been this way for many years. So in this case, this week's winner is none other than Greg Williams, the fantastical tech commander. He sacrificed himself to save the Jets' hopes of destroying another prospect. Well done, Junior. He'll never come back to this league again. Blood for the blood god. Injuries for the injury god.
Do 2 times speed, it's funny.
What?
Do 2 times speed, it's funny.
Oh yeah, because it's like
Yeah.
dying COVID.
Oh, that ain't no COVID. Alright, which one are you watching now?
This edition of Football is brought to you by the fine folks at Excellence. I know it's a crazy belief to think, but I decided to improve my knowledge of football and the tactics that
Now he sounds like he's drunk.
What am I gonna my knowledge of football and
Wait, imagine him being like, I am the Santa Fe Mandalay and Orlando and... Wait.
I am the Santa Fe and Mandalay and Orlando and
Seriously?
Colorado and
Man,
Columbine.
this game was worse than Santa Fe, Mandalay, Orlando, and Colorado and Columbine. All combined into one.
Being in the scam is worse than Santa Fe, Mandalay, Orlando, Colorado and Columbine all combined into one.
Listen, you fuckers. Norm died of a specific type of cancer that nobody was able to explain.
Because he was an abusive shitbag like yourself. Listen,
Because he was
nobody
an
died.
abusive
Norm died of a
shitbag,
specific
one
type
of
of
my
cancer that
viewers.
nobody was able to explain because it was an abusive shitbag, just like you guys. Fuck you.
Imagine Quackers Flocks. YouTube's hacked lol now. Should I do that?
No. Alright, watch the rest of the fucking video. Because it's the factor tree of sadness today. I'm not a sucker for romance, I'll tell you that. Wait, where the fuck are you?
I'm like 7 feet away from my computer. Or no, like, I don't know how many yards this is. I don't know. I can't calculate anything.
Watch the video.
Dude, I'm on 200 perks right now.
I feel like I'm on 200 perks, dude.
You look 7.
I'm 18. You look 17. Alright, go to your computer.
Dude, I'll get there. Jesus, don't be fucking... I'm basically Peter. I'm like, fucking effing crowd stuff.
Ah, effing grime.
Dude, just, wait.
Who the
before I
fuck
tell you
is this queer?
Does Aurora sell CBD?
I don't fucking know.
You don't know what CBD is?
Carboboron drugs?
No, like the cannabis gummies and stuff, they don't sell them. They, like, here they have shops.
Cannabis
It's
dicks?
not- Huh?
Cannabis dicks? Is that what CBD stands for?
Fucking-
Fruit Punch Tootsie Pops, motherfuckers. I wonder this is how your girlfriends suck it. Wonder if that's how they suck all the cum right out of your boyfriend's dicks. Probably isn't even close right now. You're probably watching this and having sex at the exact same time.
No, I'm just slumped. Ah,
400,000 times
trying to like that.
Mm-hmm.
an inaccurate prediction of the outcome. Let's say a little information about Chicago versus Bears.
Wait, that's what I'm playing right now in Madden. What the fuck? It's week 17. Oh, that would make sense.
But that's not all. If you're into sports betting, you can see the probabilities of covering the spread.
Oh, I thought that said grade A, under A outcomes.
So you don't like the Vikings by 3. You have a hunch that there will be more than 47.5 points scored. You can see the probabilities in many of them.
There's not going to be more than 47 now.
The same goes for Chiefs versus Saints later on. I can see that.
We won against the Saints.
As well. That's not all in sports. As someone trying to learn football analytics, say line coaches prefer to go for it on fourth down in certain
You want to know the funniest thing? I actually thought that the Super Bowl was going to be like a high-scoring game on both sides.
Me too.
situations.
Actually, high scoring game on the Chiefs side.
Some of the best and worst moves in terms of win percentage, change in a given week, and much more. These rankings and data models aren't just trusted, but are used regularly by numerous media outlets, the NFL, and the NCAA. All this is yours by simply clicking the link below and subscribing to Edge Sports. Rates start at $9.99 a month for football only and $19.99 a month for all sports. You know what? Let's make this better. Use the promo code U350 to get half off your subscription price. Perhaps it'll make a nice gift for someone this month. Or maybe you just want it for yourself. I won't judge. Either way, the information is at your fingertips with Edge Sports. Now on to the biggest story. Sean McVay's biggest regret over the past few years was being outcoached in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Team that is sold to this very team. Once they have that rematch, he will make sure that he doesn't make the same mistakes again. The Rams will learn their lesson. He will have his team dominate their former oppressors in nearly every aspect of play. He will force a team that shit on their little brother in the same stadium days earlier to suffer the same fate. New England could literally get nothing going on offense. Aaron's right shoulder was laid bare to see. If there was any doubt, LA's relentless pass rush would do the rest. Michael Brockers feasted on Super Camps rotting corpses. Cam Akers shanks them in the gut with the running game. Any glimmer of hope the Patriots had in the postseason vanished in the blink of an eye. The Rams will reassert themselves as a legitimate foe in the NFC after some doubts about their long-term sustainability.
This is Super Bowl 53 revenge game.
They are contenders. And with that revamped defense, it may be a legitimate claim. But there was another top prize right for the ticket for games like these. The sucking pursuit.
Yeah, tell you about suckers.
Some say he's the best offensive tackle prospect NC's on that pace, and the Bungles desperately need linemen. So
And they
what's the
didn't
point
pick
of
him.
such a bounty? Bungles. And lots of them. The sculpture is being depicted as I speak. The New Age mud bubble. It isn't as majestic as a certain other one, but imitations are rarely as good as the original.
Imitations are the sincerest form of flattery.
One thing right. Allow Andy Dalton his revenge for years of futility. Jokes on the Cowboys. They not only still have little chance of winning tank division, but they lose precious draft position as well. And only if the Bungles could stop ruining everything and have more optimism. Crazy men have false hope flooding throughout their long dead bodies. Stunningly upsetting a tough place Bucks team has them thinking bigger. Maybe tank division title. Daniel Jones is back. Maybe it would have been better if he sat out a little longer. I don't know if it's the injury or return to old form, but he looked terrible. It was nice watching him not turn the ball over, wasn't it? Well, it's gone now. Arizona is too eager to end their short-term skid to allow you a dopamine rush. It's back to crippling depression for the likes of you.
I have crippling depression.
Wait, remember, fucking, what was it? Fucking, you were like, dopamine is a drug.
That's what I thought it was.
It kinda is.
It comes with the asterisk of being against one of the worst defenses in the NFL, but for one thing,
I mean, ADHD medication ups your dopamine more than any other drug in the world, so tolerance?
potentially put themselves back in the playoff conversation. Plus the whole momentum thing. That could help there as well. It's good to bully on terrible teams again, isn't it? And to not be on the other end of it. Houston, this loss continues an incredibly bitter season full of avoidable fuck-ups. Once again, should have fired him back in January.
No, I died of cancer in January.
Is that where you got the January from?
No, I got January from the Hater's Guide to the Season.
Oh.
AFC edition.
Shit.
Latest conquest. It was once known Jacksonville. The rubble that was once their city will make a nice backstop for enslaving the survivors. It's funny. The only defense they had was a tank. It didn't fire a single shot. Can't fail when you don't try to defend. Now that's efficiency. The city may be on fire and thousands are crying and they're indiscriminately slaughtered, but there is good news. Gardner Minshew was finally able to do something. The laws have been firmly secured enough to allow him to potentially do terrible things, like produce offense. Tennessee likes their puppet states to be docile, so the feckless leader they have might be able to live. At least for now. You never know with the Titans. I keep getting transported there. The jungles of Nam. Tampa Bay, but my spirit lives on there. All we had to do was take it for the Emirates. That would have won the war. But they didn't. Vietcong kept coming, but we did it to ourselves. Now I have to see it happen over and over again. The field goes wide. It never ends. I swore to myself I'd bury the pain, but it only drives me further into madness. The misses cost us another win. Why, Bailey? Why have you forsaken us? We had it all, damn it! Now the season is all but lost. Save me from this purple hell. Save me, Derek. One question, Denver. Where the fuck has this been all season? You know this is the kind of performance that I was expecting out of you on a consistent basis. Yet you keep choosing to taper off your lower expectations. Drew Lock skied the damn ball all day. 4 touchdowns and mastery of the deep end. Team defense was suffocating the Panthers for most of the time. See? This is what happens when you play up to potential, Denver. You look formidable and intimidating. Sad thing is that it's probably far too late to make an impact in the season. Even then, they'll go back to being as brutally frustrating as ever next week because this is how it's been the past few seasons. No, Kansas City is pretty good at this game. They aren't randomly self-destructing on offense, that is. Against the Dolphins, it's more of the same. If they're locked in and stoking the engines, I don't know if there are many teams that can truly stop them. How quickly a game can turn from baffling to decisive can only be recorded in nanoseconds. And it's a shame, too, since Miami has been putting on some damn good performances as of late. They've low-key impressed me this season. To see Brian Flores not only adapt to the head coach role, but thrive in it is very inspiring to see. He has his players consistent. He has their respect. He's not trying to do something he's not. He's Brian Flores. And I think that's one of the best attributes of him and his team. They're mainly interested in, what's the term, doing their jobs. Now, I don't know if they'll make the playoffs this season.
Wait.
Being able to hang in there against some of the best teams in football has them earning my praise. The game may have been lost, but there is much to be proud of. Please, keep it going. The New York Jets. Every week is something fantastically awful to witness. The Seahawks figured that losing to one bad New Jersey-based team was enough. This game, predictably, was never close. Just reinforced both the imperfect season and Seattle's division hopes. Jets, may I suggest one thing? market yourself as a comedy act. I'm being serious when I say this. With how awful modern comedy is these days, you'll be the funniest thing shown in mainstream media. Hell, I'm in stitches every time I have to witness your games every week. This is a professional football team. These fuckers had us all realize that Geno Smith is still in the league. And he led his team to as many points as they could have. How's that for you? You think I'm missing this for the world? This is one of the most anticipated matchups in football's recent memory. The ultimate choke points. Such a game needs respect. It needs its own video. As weird as it sounds, this game has significant playoff impact for both franchises. The Colts are still trying to keep pace with a certain type of core. The Raiders, despite escaping New York with a gift of tanks once approved last week, was just a blip on the radar. That wasn't going to happen. Indianapolis is just too well-rounded for some autumn wind to try and upend them. You'll need to do better to try and pull off a win. Sorry, Vegas, you'll get to be on the outside looking in again with an uphill battle to make it to postseason salvation. It would be better if team defense managed to show up consistently, but that's just wishful thinking. Chucky killing off Paul Gunther is a start. I don't know if it will be enough, but it's something. Green Bay, this is your moment to shine. Detroit may be hungry and eager to prove themselves as their team, but it will not matter to you. There is a great prize for you to strive for today. To return as kings of the North. Besides, it's Detroit. They've been your carpet to trample on for many years. Despite your superiority, the Lions will put up a fight. Contest is a tug of war, a duel of fate and fury. Both teams will take their turns coming to blows with their adversary, and they both play well. But once again, the Packers will prove superiority today. They will leak ahead in the end and stay there. No shame in losing, Detroit. You fought hard. But I feel this hurts more due to previous losses instead of what happened today. As Michigan fades, the reward for Wisconsin is now theirs. The NFC North crown. I can't make a damn thing of the Saints. I keep feeling they should be performing much better in games instead of either winning ugly or flopping hard. But guess what happened today? They're facing a team playing like shit in the Eagles. They're starting Jalen Hurts in his first career start. So why the hell did the team come out flat? I know Breeze isn't the same as he was, but you need him back ASAP. Taysom Hill isn't the full-time starter. He's ironically Nick Foles, a guy who's best as a situational player who struggles with regular play. The Eagles' defense, particularly their front four, devoured his inexperience. I keep asking questions, but I'm more concerned about what happened to their run defense. Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts treated you like a Big Ten school. So not only did you lose embarrassingly, it may have cost them the #1 seed. Green Bay beat them earlier in the year, so they have tiebreaker. I know it's not the end of the world, but I'm still afraid of the other shoe dropping. And the past few years is reference for that. I think Arizona's field isn't meant to handle taking a beating every week. Looking at it in the San Francisco-Washington matchup, it looks like Heinz Field after the high school championship games. Was there a cattle auction on it a few days before or something? It could explain how Nate Redacted's offense could be next to nothing okay. True, the Niners have a good defense, but it was a borderline black hole. It got worse as Alex Smith had to leave the game early due to injury, and the reintroduction of Dwayne Haskins to the fly. Normally, this would result in the total destruction of a team and be the end of it. But one thing Washington has done as of late is forge one of the best defenses in football. It's relentless, it's persistent, and it gets results. Majority of the points earned for them were due to or were the result of turnovers. Nick Mullins died. And he died again.
Nick Mullins died.
Nick Mullins died of cancer. Fuck that guy.
Norm died, and he died again.
Football team now controls Tech Division due to a 4-game winning streak, in which you summarily go by Chase Young. I knew there were fucking you for this. Dancing on the midfield logo before the game? You supposed to be done with this shit? Steelers, please, stop. We need to talk. No, stop casting the damn ball away. I bet these receivers couldn't even catch Pokemon. Listen, you got your asses kicked, but it's fixed. All you have to do is stop being one-dimensional. You realize that Dennis...
Alright, I'll call you back.
No, don't leave.
I gotta do it.
Stay on the call. You've been on this call for like 5 hours. Fuck that guy, man. Fuck him into high hell. Four and a half hours. Thus ends the Factor Tree of Sadness.